Welcome back to another episode of the Get Back Coach presented by Apollo Media. Jay, we had some technical difficulties yesterday, but thank God we did, because we get to talk about probably the game of the year. But Jay, tell the people who we are brought to you by.
Yeah, folks, if you're watching this on the YouTubes, you can see right here in this little corner, Battle Bets. If you're wondering what Battle Bets is a fantasy gambling app. That means it's 100% free to use and enjoy. The wagers you make are not real money. So if you want to just prove your knowledge against your friends, download Battle Bets, let them know that the Get Back Coach sent you, and we'll have a great time. Obviously, the season's wrapping up here, but it's never too late to download Battle Bets and let them know that we sent you. Every little bit helps. Really appreciate Battle Bets being on board this season. We've had a lot of fun with it. It's coming down to the playoffs and that as well. So again, download Battle Bets. Let them know that we sent you. Jake, let's get into this because I'm usually the FCS guy here, but I feel like we were both glued to our television sets with the game that happened yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Illinois State goes into this game as a 10.5-point underdog. I guess right before we talk about the game, though, Jay, Nashville for a location, great. Night game all by itself, great. They need to do this from now on. Yeah. This game needs to be I'm totally fine with Monday night, where
it's the best Monday night football game of the year.
It is the best Monday night football game of the year. I mean, this was one of the best football games all year. So location wise, or hey, even if you want to like rotate it, fine. But night game after or on the Monday after week 18 for the NFL, I think is perfect. But listen, Illinois State goes into this game heavy underdog. Okay, 10.5-point underdog. And at a moment, I thought, ooh, they missed some early opportunities, missed some opportunities in the maroon zone. Montana State gets a quick touchdown to go up by 14 into halftime. But Illinois State, man, they kept in the game. They kept fighting. And, man, they almost pulled off an all-time thriller.
Yeah, and what a run in the postseason by Illinois State. 4 straight wins on the road. To make it to this game, right? Like that is
right.
A huge feat on its own. Obviously, the job that Brock Spack has done. The Missouri Valley Football Conference, obviously one of the powers of the FCS ranks. You knock off number 1 North Dakota State, the perennial powerhouse, the dynasty. And I mean, again, like you said, Jake, it looked like they were in big trouble. Montana State jumps out early. They're leading 14-0. They finally get a stop, and then they score near the end of the second quarter. And like you said, I mean, Montana State goes down there in a flash. One of the plays of the year, by the way, Dane Steele. What a job in that 2-minute warning to get that 2-minute drill to get that touchdown. I mean, makes a great catch, hurdles a guy, dives into the end zone. The effort on display, just an incredible play. And then Illinois State is kind of on the ropes, right? Down 21-7. You go into the second half, and this just became an all-time classic. Everything in this game was electric. Illinois State ties it up. We ended up going to overtime, but not without some chaos there at the end of the fourth quarter. Montana State blocks a field goal, returns it past the 50-yard line, set in great field position. False start issues caused some problems for Montana State, which had been an issue all game. Kind of wild with the crowd.
I think they had 7.
I think they had 8 or 9.
They had 8 fault down.
Yeah. And you had a wild snap, and which is again going back to the false start issues. This was a operational issue that Montana State had. Something with the snap count just wasn't working. So Lamson at quarterback's unprepared for a snap, ends up going back to the Montana State side of the field. We end up in overtime. And in overtime, Illinois State scores first, touchdown, and another kick is blocked, this time on the extra point. Montana State is able to score. I believe it was a 4th and 10, too.
Yeah,
they did eventually punch it in.
4th and 10.
Lamson to Taco Dowler, who had an incredible game, electric player. Just he reminds me of those guys that like Belichick always had in New England, like a Wes Welker, Amendola, Julian Edelman, those types of guys. Just so dangerous with the ball in his hands, great at getting yards after catch, super reliable. Just a super fun player to watch. And I had the pleasure of seeing him last year when I went up to Bozeman. But man, this game was from start to finish just about as good as it gets. I mean, this is college football in its purest state. Two teams competing. You got to play it, and it wasn't on either campus, but it was on a college football campus in Vanderbilt,
which it should be neutral site.
Yeah, I like it, and the national championship should be neutral site. I just like that it was. It had a different feel, right? Because they've been playing this game at Frisco, at the soccer stadium there for a while. This one just kind of felt different. I felt like both crowds traveled well. Like there was a whole bunch of blue and yellow and a whole bunch of red in the crowd.
Yeah,
everybody was into it. It was loud the whole game. I mean, dude, this was probably my favorite national championship game. I don't know about ever, but it is up there for me. Any level of football, like it's up there with like the Clemson Alabama games that were really good, Miami Ohio State, the Rose Bowl. Like this game for me was up there with those games. Just in the lore of college football and how exciting this contest was.
Jay, I don't want to oversell something, but that was one of the best football games I ever watched. Just watching how both these offenses were operating, how they were just kind of taking what the defense is giving them, but the defense not giving up big plays. Like besides for that that really quick drive before half, both defenses played pretty well, and they made the offense earn everything they got. So, like, I think that right there is a testament to what a great football game this was, as it's not bad defense, it's not bad offense, it's two really good units going against each other. I just think special teams bit Illinois State in the bum at the end.
Yeah, and that's the way it goes. There's 3 phases of the game for a reason. But man, yeah, like you said, I mean, this game had everything. You had the storylines, right? Like, for Montana State, hasn't won a title since 1984. You look back and it felt like they had the title last year, right? With Tommy Mellott, all the momentum they have. How hard is it for a guy like Justin Lamson to step in and take over for a guy who was legendary in Bozeman, just one of the most electric players in the country last year in Tommy Mellott. Touchdown Tommy, great nickname too. But Lamson, to his credit, just stepped up, and the Bobcats were rolling in the postseason. For Illinois State, it was a wild scenario. Again, talking about that big run to get to this game. They closed out the season losing by 30 points to Southern Illinois, right? Like a lot of people didn't think they should be here, and they proved they belonged. Again, knocking off North Dakota State en route, all 4 games on the road. Like that is tough to do, especially when you consider how much travel they had to do, going all over the country. The West Coast to play UC Davis. Right, and then they go to the East Coast to play Villanova. I mean, just electric, and I can't say enough. Like both of these teams put on a show.
Yeah, Illinois State, Dylan Lord and Tommy Rittenhouse, just a great duo there. Brock Spack. This is the second time he's come within a point of a national championship.
Was it 1 point or 2 points when they lost to North Dakota State?
I thought it was 1.
Either way, it was close.
Very, and again, big time. And they were bigger underdogs this time around. But Montana State, Jay. Again, you're more in tune with the Big Sky and everything. Montana State is not looked at the same way. Now, granted, powerhouse, but North Dakota State, Montana, and now recently South Dakota State have been kind of dominating with like getting those national championships. And Montana State, again, hasn't won one since 84. So they're kind of like the forgotten one almost, in a sense. now they finally have that national title to show against everyone else in Montana and North Dakota.
Yeah, and
Or
again,
Dakota.
Brent Vigen, they talked about how much this meant to him, the job that he's done. He's a guy that came from North Dakota State, obviously a lot of familiarity with what it takes to win at this level. But yeah, coming up just short last year kind of felt like that was the year. So coming back and being able to finish the job this year, and again, the guys like Taco Dowler, who had an incredible game. Steele was fantastic. Lamson was fantastic. Adam Jones in the backfield, right? Really fun player to watch too. There are some fantastic players at this level of football. I think I see a lot of FBS fans kind of turn up their nose at the FCS football.
Yeah.
And brother, if you missed that game, again, you missed one of the best games of all time.
Yep. Jay, I had multiple people who don't usually tune into the FCS text me and say, this game is insane right now. Like, so I think putting it on its own stage with the nothing else, I think a lot of people are going to be, their ears are going to perk up a little bit more with FCS football. And I think that's a good thing. It's football in its purest form.
And these guys deserve their stage. I mean, again, this is like FCS football has all the things that you love about FBS football, right? It has the great rivalries, Brawl the Wild, the rivalry, right? Lehigh Lafayette. Right. You have like Harvard Yale in there. You have the Dakota Marker game. Like there are so many great rivalries in FCS football. And I do hope that this getting them on their own stage gives people an idea of what they're missing when they don't tune into this. Because, dude, like earlier this year when I got to cover Stephen F. Austin and Abilene Christian in the playoffs, like that was an electric game. There's just so much good football being played, and I think people do themselves a disservice by not trying to catch games like this.
Yeah, absolutely incredible game. And like I said, I think this is awesome for the FCS. This is huge for them. I think a lot of people are now going to keep their eye on some of the FCS stuff, which they should.
Yeah, and maybe next year game day will actually go to an FCS game because you had some great opportunities. Yeah,
they did. They did. So Jay, really quick, we do have to talk about some coaching changes here. Kyle Whittingham is now the head coach at Michigan, which again we haven't talked in a while. Yeah. Whittingham at Michigan. So after Whittingham was kind of gently put, would you call it a gently push, Jay?
Yeah, I would say gently push. I mean, he had a heck of a run there. I think Morgan Scalley was his handpicked guy to be his successor. So I wouldn't say this was like a full on, force out like we've seen some other places, hostile takeovers. But I feel like, he did need a little encouragement out the door. But at the same time, I think Whittingham talked about it like whenever he resigned from Utah. He mentioned that like he didn't want to be the guy that hung around there for too long. Obviously had the bad season in 2024. They rallied. They're 11 wins this year. Felt like a good way to close the chapter in Salt Lake City. Now, again, if you had told me at the beginning of the year that Kyle Whittingham was going to take the Michigan job, I don't know that I would have believed it, right? Like I figured he'd be stepping down, retiring if he moved on from Utah, especially after how strong they closed out the year. But now he's in place, and honestly, if I'm Michigan, I'm pretty happy. A guy that runs a good program, going to give you some stability. Like I think Whittingham knows, and I think Michigan fans know that he's not going to be the guy for a decade, right? Like this is probably 3 to 5 years. Give some stability to the program. And then you find your guy. But I do think Whittingham has a chance to have a pretty good tenure in Ann Arbor, and I'm interested to see how it turns out.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I feel like this is just a very nice and sturdy bridge to get to your next guy. But what a beautiful bridge it is because, Whittingham has done a very good job. 177 and 88 at Utah, 3 conference titles. That's 2 conference titles with the old Pac-12. So yeah, Whittingham to Michigan. I think this is for right now and where the timing and everything. I would give it an A higher.
I think so too. Although some Michigan fans are probably kicking themselves that they didn't get to hire John Harbaugh now that he's been let go by the Ravens.
Yeah, also
I don't
true.
think that was actually going to happen.
No. Also, really quick, Northwestern is turning up the heat. Chip Kelly, offensive coordinator, now with the Wildcats. After he was let go by the Raiders, was he fired by the Raiders?
Yeah, he was fired by the Raiders,
and now he's with Northwestern. I mean, good for. I mean,
sure.
I think there's worse out there for Northwestern. Chip Kelly, don't like Chip Kelly as a guy, but great. I mean, great football coach.
Better than Brian Kelly.
Better than Brian Kelly. See, here's the thing.
The bar is on the floor.
Yeah, I don't think Chip's a bad person. I just think he's
not one of the most likable guys.
No, he's very. I was gonna say something, but I was like, I'm trying to clean up my act. He's very unlikable,
but not nearly as unlikable as the other Kelly.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, Chip Kelly to Northwestern. Keep your eye on that. Jay, the next order of business. Now there are a ton of bowl games, but Jay, what we did, we wanted to give our audience the top 10 best bowl games that were not non-college football playoff bowl games. And we're just going to go in order. We're not ranking them.
We're just giving the top 10.
We're just giving the top 10. We're not going to rank them because it's very hard to rank what games are better, especially,
Yeah, it'd be like Phillip Rivers asking him to rank his children, right? Like we don't need to do that.
Which is a big list. It's a big list.
It's a big list.
It's a big list. So let's start off with Louisville beats Toledo 27-22 in the Bush's Bowl of Beans Bowl.
It's the Bowl of Beans.
Bowl of Beans. I like that they have the beans in the giant pot at the end.
Yeah, with your boy there too.
Oh, Keegan-Michael Key.
Yeah.
Hang on. I don't know. I know it's Bush's Beans. Wearing maroon. Did we lose Keegan-Michael Key in the divorce?
People are asking.
People are asking. Jay, this is a good game. Listen, I don't care what anyone says. If you play Toledo in a bowl game, you better be ready because not only are they going to, give you a very hard time on the field, they also might want to fight you by the end of it.
Yeah.
That is a scrappy bunch that will not take any of your crap. Louisville ends up pulling away with it though at the end, 27-22.
Yeah, and this one was crazy because it looked like Louisville had put the game away, right? They drive, they go up 27-14. They're about to kick the extra point. It's going to be a 2-score game. And then Toledo blocks that extra point. The same guy who blocked it returned it for a defensive 2-point conversion.
Love to see it, by the way.
Love to see it. And dude, like the effort to be the guy that blocks the kick and returns it all the way back.
Yeah.
And then, like Toledo then gets a touchdown. So they score. And all of a sudden, you go for 2 to make it a field goal game. They don't get the 2-point conversion. They have a chance to stop Louisville and get the ball back one more time. Unable to do it. This was fantastic. Also I love how we're getting just chaotic with the food involved in these trophies. I think the famous Idaho Potato Bowl is the one that started it off with the French fry dump. But now like you have so many great bowl novelties and having the trophy with the big bowl of beans and Keegan-Michael Key stirring it. Love it. Love it. More of that, please. Less like 68 Ventures and Radiance Technologies. More food.
Yes, absolutely. Next up on Christmas Eve, great Christmas Eve tradition of the Hawaii Bowl. Hawaii, the hometown team, defeats Cal 35-31 in front of a boisterous Hawaii crowd. Jay, this game started off 21-0 Cal, and I thought, This is a stinker. I'm on my way home from the girlfriend's family's house. And then I'm like, oh, now it's 21-14. And it's like, oh, now it's 21-21. And I'm like, okay, now we got it. Now we got to watch. And Jay, the end of this game, absolutely electric. Alejandro. Okay. Alejandro. I hate pronouncing names. I hate pronouncing things.
Yeah. How do words good?
Yeah. He is an absolute warrior. Okay. We watched in the beginning of the year, all season. The dude puts his body on the line. He's
tougher
awesome.
than a $2 steak.
Yes. Gets knocked out of the game. And I think to myself, and I think Hawaii's down by 3. I'm like, okay. The kicker, again, which is the great story, comes
Tokyo Toe,
come from Japan, learned how to kick on YouTube. I'm like, he's gonna kick the field goal, and they're gonna go into overtime. Nope. Play action, bomb by backup quarterback Luke Weaver. Hawaii scores a touchdown. They hold on, they win. Absolutely pandemonium goes in their stadium, which is smaller than the Aloha Dome or the Aloha Bowl, but still awesome crowd. Just absolutely amazing bowl game.
Yeah, what a job by Tim Chang there out in Hawaii.
Yeah,
to turn around this program. They've been struggling for a little bit. Fantastic season for the Warriors, the Rainbow Warriors, and what a job! What a job! What a gritty performance, right? Kind of mirrors Alejandro and what he's able to do to come back from down 21-0. And again, great Christmas Eve tradition. Always love tuning into the Hawaii Bowl. Doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, 9-4. The Hawaii finishes 9-4. Good for them.
Yeah,
good for them. Next up, Jay, Minnesota beats New Mexico in overtime, 20-17. They almost did it, Jay.
Yeah.
They almost did it. They fought hard, man.
Yeah, I really thought the Lobos were going to get to 10 wins. They lose to Minnesota again in overtime. Just a tough squad, right? The Lobos were, it reflects Jason Eck, right? Like Jason Eck is a former Wisconsin offensive lineman. That tells you a lot of what you need to know about how New Mexico plays the game of football. They want to run it over you. They have like a stable of backs and a running quarterback that can get after it. Really fun physical game. Minnesota had Anthony Smith at defensive end who just had a monster day. And again, I wanted the Lobos to get their 10th win, but nothing to hang your head on this season because nobody had this coming for New Mexico. For them to do this after Bronco Mendenhall left after 1 year, have to feel good about that in Albuquerque. What a close to the season for the Lobos.
Yeah. Listen, Drake Lindsay at the end of that football game, Tipper had also to Minnesota. I have no idea how Drake Lindsay fit that ball into Jalen Smith. I have no idea how Jalen Smith I have no idea how it happened. But again, and I think this is what happens in some of these games with these better group of 5 teams. Like there's 1 or 2 guys on the other end that just dominate. We saw that in Anthony Smith. Anthony Smith just had a monster game. And then, Drake Lindsay and Jalen Smith hook up at the end. Huge for the Gophers. PJ Fleck has not lost a bowl game as a Gopher. How about that?
Row the boat.
Row the boat ski.
More like row the bowl. Am I
right? Yeah, Gophers win 2017 in overtime. Awesome game. Oh, one more thing. As we're watching this game, I'm watching it with my dad, and Jason Eck is like walking somewhere, and my dad just looks at me and goes, "That's a football coach right there." And I'm like, "Yes, that is a football coach."
Dude, he is going to be, I think, probably the next Wisconsin head coach after the end of next season. But I'm enjoying him in Albuquerque while it lasts.
Absolutely. Jay, hometown team here.
Hometown team for Paulo.
Yeah. Big win for Houston, the Cougars over LSU, 38-35. Connor Wegman, remember that?
Yeah, fighting Texas Aggie legend, Connor Wegman.
There it is. And against Martin Van Buren, who was a big, highly touted recruit by LSU. LSU scored late in this one, but huge win for Houston. Again, Apollo people in the region, support your Houston Cougars.
Or
Support
your
college
Rice Owls.
football. Or your Rice Owls.
Hey,
They
Texas Southern, get some FCS action in.
Texas Southern.
Prairie View is about 45 minutes out of town. You can go
They
watch
had a
them.
good year. They had a good year. By the way, Rice not included in this top 10, unfortunately. Not included in this top 10. Not a good one. But Houston, Willie Fritz, man, like,
dude's a ball coach.
What was going, like, when Dana was with Houston, there was just always something missing. They just weren't very good. No identity. This is a complete turnaround where Houston looks like a solid football program, and I think they can take the next step with Willie Fritz.
Yeah, and it's obviously a very rich recruiting region. You're in the city of Houston, one of the largest in the country. Always some great athletes coming out of there. DFW and Houston tend to be your hubs for elite recruits in the state. Austin has some as well, but yeah, I mean, great foundation to build on. Have to be stoked if you're a Cougs fan. The way this season ended, you love getting that win over LSU. All right, there's a lot of LSU alum here in Houston, and I know the Cougs were fired up about it. LSU probably just kind of looking forward to the Lane Kiffin era at this stage.
Right.
So we'll see how that turns out. But yeah, big win for Houston at home.
Yep, absolutely. Next up, Jay, they revealed the viewership for this next one. The Pop-Tarts Bowl. 8.5 million people tuned in for the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Again, less 68 Ventures, more of this absurdity that takes place. And the thing is, Jay, like, I know some people look at it, the Pop-Tarts Bowl, that's a thing. Yeah, it's a thing, and it's a damn good bowl, too.
Yeah.
You have BYU and Georgia Tech, two very good teams, both teams in the playoff discussion towards the end of the year, BYU until the last week. And BYU pulls off a huge comeback, down 10 points in the fourth. Georgia Tech then, big play towards the end of the game, but cannot convert in the red zone. I mean, game had everything. Awesome stuff.
Yeah, electric game. I had this one highlighted on the games that you had to watch, even without like how much fun the Pop-Tart Bowl is, just because of how physical both of these teams were. Like, this is a dream matchup. 8.5 million, you said, huh? And I believe, Notre Dame was originally the choice for this game. So they missed out on 8.5 million viewers. Make your own choices. But again, fantastic electric bowl game. Super physical. Both these teams were hitting the hell out of each other, which I love to see. And then, of course, we have the chaos at the end in the presentation of the edible mascot. Strawberry Protein is a fugitive on the run.
He is not leaving. He is not. This is not where he wants to end. Does a dive off the end. Good thing they did show the crash pad, because I thought the worst. I thought he did not want to be eaten, and he was giving up. But no, he was jumped off and ran away. We have the Pop-Tarts have storylines now.
Dude, this is sports entertainment, brother. You'll love to see it. I mean, just incredible. The storylines they've built there for the Pop-Tart Bowl. Like, I love that game so much. And I can't wait to see the next chapter.
What did you think of Kalani Sitake eating like that Pop-Tart all in one bite?
Oh, dude. I love Kalani Sitake.
Yeah. I mean,
fantastic.
Yeah. It's I don't want to take a shot at Notre Dame here. I don't.
I did.
I feel like Notre Dame felt they were too good for the Pop-Tart Bowl, and like I couldn't imagine their players or their guys getting like
embracing it. Embracing
because
it is campy. It's a little bit weird, but it's so much fun, and I feel like every fan that tuned into that game was rewarded. I just, fantastic game, fantastic story. I mean, this would be a 5-star match if Dave Meltzer was rating it, right?
Oh yeah. Ooh, Dave. Oh, that's a great pull. I know who Dave Meltzer is. I know probably
how many listeners.
I mean,
we have a pretty good crowd at Apollo that knows what we're talking about.
Yes,
but
exactly.
Oh man.
Jay, speaking of 5-star matches.
This is, folks, if you're wondering why Jake is cackling maniacally, this is the Pitt hate section of the podcast where Jake, as a Penn State fan, gets to talk about the East Carolina Pirates in the Military Bowl, taking down the Pitt Panthers 23-17, a ECU team that was very shorthanded, by the way.
They
Jake?
lost to their backups. They lost to the backups. Oh my god. Oh, it was so nice. It was amazing watching this game before the Pinstripe Bowl. Where I knew I'm watching the Pinstripe Bowl, and I know, hey, the majority of Penn State's team is not there. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm fully anticipating a Penn State loss. They did not. Very nice. But watching this take place again, we didn't have Desmond Reed. You had your better running back there. Turner's been the better back all year. ECU did not have their quarterback, their running back, their tight end, and their second best receiver. And they still won. Their ECU's defense kept Pitt in check pretty much the entire game. I mean, I have no idea how they choked this one away. But hats off to ECU. Blake Harrell, listen, no quarter, baby. I love watching the ECU Pirates.
Yeah. And this is a program that is also primed for the next step. A lot of turnover in the American. I think ECU is going to be one to watch next year. Moving on to another team that you don't particularly like, who lost. Illinois beats Tennessee with a walk-off field goal, 30-28. For the second straight year, Burt gets revenge on the SEC. Obviously, his Arkansas tenure didn't work out well, but he's now taking down South Carolina and Tennessee back-to-back years as the Illini win 30-28.
This was an awesome football game. Yes, I know. I'm not a huge fan of Tennessee. Do love Josh Heupel. I do like Josh Heupel. This is a pro Josh Heupel pod. This game went back and forth. Illinois takes a big lead, but dude, good thing Illinois had a couple stops in the beginning because Tennessee had figured out their defense towards the end of that game. And Illinois, I think, knew that. And I think they made the correct decision to waste the time, don't score, and then kick the extra. Even though they were losing, kick the field goal that's pretty much an extra point. I thought that was the correct decision because Tennessee, with their offense, I think had Illinois figured out at the end. Illinois just had the ball last.
Yeah, and Tennessee is so good at scoring in a hurry. I think it was a very smart decision. Great game management, and 9-win season again for Illinois. So
back to back.
I was really high on this squad to start the year. I had them as a possible playoff dark horse. They didn't quite get to that level, but still a very good year to get to 9 wins 2 years in a row. Super impressive.
Yeah. Again, there is that 1 year where we all thought Illinois was going to be a 10-win team, 9-10-win team, possibly dark horse for playoff, and they crapped the bed, and they followed it up with back-to-back 9-win seasons. Awesome for Illinois. Burt's home, man.
Yeah,
Burt is home, and
he belongs in the Big Ten. Yeah,
he belongs there. It's great.
Going to San Antonio, can't forget this one, right? Remember the Alamo Bowl. TCU wins a banger of a game against USC. I mean, this was just fantastic start to finish. TCU has some history, right? You had the, I believe it was the Oregon comeback game in the Alamo Bowl, which was a lot of fun. This one, again, just a fantastic game. Jeremy Payne, what a game he had. He obviously has the game-winning touchdown, the walk-off touchdown, but he was electric all game. Josh Hoover was not there. Really cool story for Ken Seals. Former Vanderbilt quarterback transferred into TCU, didn't play much this season. Obviously, Hoover was a starter, but gets the chance to come back home to Texas, start in the Alamo Bowl, leads the Horned Frogs to victory. Really fun one there in San Antonio as the Horned Frogs get the win over USC.
Yeah, I mean, I thought USC was going to win this football game. I had them. I mean, heck, man, even 3rd and 20. 3rd and 20. And I thought, okay, little dump off. He's going to run for 10 yards, make it fourth and manageable, or kick the field goal. Jeremy Payne's two missed tackles, jukes another guy, and then he's gone.
Tiptoes down the
Tiptoes.
sideline.
Yep. I mean, absolutely great game there by Sonny Dykes and the boys. I don't want to harp on anybody. I was a little disappointed in Jada Mayava. I thought he would be a little bit better. I think he missed some guys. TCU just looked like more of a complete unit all game, and just an all-time banger for TCU.
Yeah.
I love rooting for the Horned Frogs.
Especially in the Alamo Bowl. Feels like they always
Yeah.
pull off some crazy stuff like this.
Absolutely love it. All right. This next one. I have to say something.
This is the Outback Bowl.
This is the Outback Bowl. I will not recall it whatever quest. I'm not taking your quest, sir.
Bring back the bloomin' onion.
Bloomin' onion versus coconut shrimp. It was always great.
Yeah.
So I have something here. This is, by the way, Styles Make Fights game. Vanderbilt boom and bust offense versus Iowa ground and pound. All right, so Diego Pavia, really fun to watch. Like, has done a lot of awesome things.
Beating Hugh Freeze every time he played him.
Beating Hugh Freeze every time, which we enjoyed. We enjoyed that a lot.
Thoroughly.
I don't know. I feel like he became kind of a cartoon character at the end.
Yeah.
And like, I know a lot of the things he said about the Big Ten and Iowa were very much tongue in cheek, and he was getting, pumped up. But it is kind of satisfying to see Iowa beat him, and Iowa scored 34.
Jake, you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. I think Diego Pavia became the villain for a lot of people at the end of the story. But this was a fantastic game. Iowa, just super physical. The tight end, always with the tight ends, Iowa, just so fun to watch.
Yeah. Jay, I'm going to make a declaration right now. Okay? We are no longer, or anyone for that matter, making jokes about Iowa's offense. There is no need to make jokes about Iowa's offense anymore. By the way, Tim Lester called an amazing game, and he might be the key that the Iowa Hawkeye football program needs to take the next step and become a playoff team to unlock that offense. I absolutely loved it.
I'm still taking Iowa unders every time they play, but
yeah. Do you know how many times? Do you know how many times I was burned on Iowa?
Oh yeah, it happens, but I'm still going to do it.
I'm still going to do it.
To be fair, this is also credit to Iowa's defense, who is always fantastic.
Yeah, great, and gives them always great field position. Like, I don't think people realize that. Like, that having a good defense, like, I feel like it's a very elementary, but like, if you have a good defense, you can have an average or above average offense and score points just off field position alone.
Shout out Beamer Bowl.
Yep, absolutely.
The Sun Bowl, the best venue in sports, hosted one of the best games of bowl season.
It did.
Duke narrowly beats Arizona State in the Sun Bowl 42-39. Obviously, Arizona State has a lot of folks out, a lot of people hitting the transfer portal. But I mean, dude, again, one of the best settings in sports. I love the Sun Bowl. Love seeing it packed out for this game. And what an effort by Duke. They had the wildest, season, up and down, up and down, up and down. All of a sudden, they win the ACC championship.
Yeah.
Chaos was the name of the game for this team. But yeah, I mean, this was just another fantastic bowl game, right? Like, thought Arizona State was going to put it away. Not so fast.
No. So this was a game I had to watch back because there were just so many games going on. This is one where I had to like one morning I just threw it on. I'm like, how did this happen? Because Arizona State was going to run out the clock and just fumble, just a fumble at the worst time, setting up Duke at the end of the game. I'm very surprised with how well Duke's offense has been and how poor their defense has been all year, especially with Manny Diaz. If I believe Duke will figure out their defense eventually, if this offense stays the way it is, this is still a team that can contend for the ACC championship every year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And again, like, Arizona State, still a great year for them. They took a step back, had Levitt was banged up for a lot of the year. Just kind of tough. We'll see how Dillingham bounces back there. But yeah, this is a fun matchup in El Paso.
Yep.
I did want to touch briefly, so we're not going to full on dive into this game, but I have to talk about the Duke's Mayo Bowl. Just my personal history there. Really cool what they did with the Mayo Maniacs. Awesome for Jake Dickert to get Wake Forest to 9 wins. I don't think anybody saw that one coming, right? We talked about New Mexico. This is a similar performance by Dickert coaching that team to that effort. And also want to, have our thoughts with Kamario Taylor. Nasty lower body injury. You hate to see it, especially in a game that, it's the last game of the season. Time's running down in the game. And Mississippi State also, as a 5-7 team, theoretically should not have been there. Now, I would still rather see this game. It was a fun contest, but it can't all be roses, right? Sometimes you got to have the thorns, and this was one of the thorns of the bowl game season, was seeing Kamario Taylor go down there at the end.
Yeah, it's nothing you want to see. Absolutely nothing you want to see. Well, that is our top 10 for non-playoff bowl games. Now let's get into the playoff. Alabama beats Oklahoma in Norman 34-24. Jay, Sooners jump out to a 17-0 lead. I'm like, okay, thanks for coming out. The pick six before half changed everything for Alabama.
Yep.
Swung the momentum, and now I think it was that doubt of Oklahoma of, oh, wait, we got quicksand, baby, the quicksand. I think the other thing is, and Jay, correct me if I'm wrong, keeping Mateer just in the pocket, making sure he can't run east-west, making sure he has to step up, taking away some of those run lanes for scrambles. And I think that was huge for them. Both teams had a really tough time running the ball. Like, I don't think either team had 50 yards rushing.
Yeah, and that's been the bad part for Alabama all year, and why I took Oklahoma in this game. They just haven't been able to run the ball, but credit to that coaching staff for finding some adjustments. Obviously, we'll get into more Alabama talk later, but this was a huge comeback to come down 17-0 on the road. By the way, you have 50 Cent performing Mini Men during this game, which was
wild.
Still don't understand what was going on there, but just a fantastic game. Credit to Alabama for rallying, right? It's easy to lay down when that happens, but they came back.
Yeah. Yep. Next up, Ole Miss beats Tulane. Listen, Ole Miss is better, but I do want to tell the people this. Tulane was in the red zone 5 times in the first half and got 3 points. That's huge. And I think that right there, again, is the difference. That from 30, between the 30s, a lot of these group of 5 teams can hang. I think once you get into the red zone and the field shrinks, so to speak, I think it becomes increasingly difficult. And I think that was the difference maker in this game. Tulane hung with them. It's just they couldn't punch it in. They couldn't take advantage.
Yeah. Like you said, Tulane hung with them. Just Ole Miss, again, able to just shrink the field there in the red zones. It's harder to win mano a mano when you get down there. And I think that's where the gap showed. If Tulane's able to like hit threes all day, right? Like just be able to kind of score from distance. They have a good chance in this one, but they, you get down to the red zone, it's just that much harder to punch it in. Also, we're going to get into this with the next game too. All the people that are whining and moaning about the group of 5 teams not belonging, pound sand. I'd rather see these teams in there than see the random 9-3 SEC Big Ten team make it.
Nope. I agree. I definitely agree. They need some sort of representation. There needs to be something. And you know what, Jay? I've said this on the pod before, and I do regret it. I said, why don't you just give the Group of Five its own national title? And you know what? Boise State people have said, I'd win that Fiesta Bowl over and over again, or I take getting into the big dance over second tier national title any day of the week. And you know what? If that's how they feel about it, then the Group of Five deserves representation.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yep.
agree wholeheartedly. Next one is the other Group of Five game, Oregon hammers James Madison. Now, James Madison did cover, by the way. I will
They
say
did.
that they did
They
cover,
did.
but Oregon jumped out 34-6. This one was never in doubt. The Ducks just kind of flew away with it, as it were. Just really good running the ball, really good getting the ball to their playmakers. I thought James Madison did some good stuff offensively. I think they tried to make it like shrink the game, limit the possessions.
Mhm.
That's the path to victory for them. They just weren't able to fully execute because Oregon was so good offensively, better than they had been a lot of the year, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. This is another one where 34-6, James Madison they were driving the whole game. It's just they couldn't finish. And then the second half, they made Oregon pay. By the way, Dante Moore, they didn't come out. Like Oregon starters were still in the football game, and James Madison made them pay a little bit. They just had a frustrating first quarter. And again, defensively, it's going to be tough for them. James Madison needed to get into a shootout to win this game, and they just got down a little bit early. Where if they had a stop or two, it could have made a huge difference in that second half. But listen, listen, they covered and they made it a game in the second half. They hung with them.
Yeah, and I guess now
Here
I
we
have
go.
to talk about this one, huh?
Sorry.
Fantastic season for my Texas A&M Aggies, making it to the playoff, 11 wins. I mean, if you had told me that at the beginning of the year, I would have been thrilled. Obviously, sucks to go out this way. This was a defensive battle, I guess, is putting it nicely. Very low scoring game. Both teams had opportunities to score, just weren't able. I mean, Miami missed multiple field goals. A&M missed a field goal.
The wind was out. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, the wind was wild, and not just like one direction, which is part of the problem. It was kind of like swirling winds, and then the gusts would pick up, which is why it's so hard as a kicker. Like I'm giving both those guys. Well, Miami's kicker, I'm giving a little slack. A&M's kicker kind of kicked the ground before he kicked the ball, which is never a winning recipe.
Nope.
But yeah, I mean Miami, Ruben Bain, Akeem Mesdor, incredible pass rushers. Such a talented unit in the trenches. Miami has on both sides, by the way, like Francis Mauigoa and those guys on the offensive line, also very, very good. Mark Fletcher, who hasn't been talked about a ton this year, had a fantastic game. Malachi Toney gets hit and fumbles late in the game. Looks like A&M's going to have a chance to kind of salt the game away. And the defense rallies, and then Mark Fletcher takes Miami down the field. And then it's Malachi Toney who ultimately gets the game-winning touchdown for the Canes. But it's just great performance by them. On the A&M side of the ball, not a great performance by Marcel Reed.
No.
Got happy feet on some of those sacks, kind of ran into him. Had multiple bad interceptions, including the one to close out the game. Just missed some open guys. You would have liked to see him get the playmakers the ball in space. I think maybe tried to go too far. Also struggled to get the run game going, which you expect against a Miami defensive line again that is so good. But yeah, I mean it is disappointing to close out the season like this, but still has to be counted as a step in the right direction if you're an A&M fan looking at Mike Elko's tenure so far.
Yeah. So here's my take on the A&M offense. I thought Marcel Reed kept. Don't take this the wrong way. I think he kept them in the game a bunch of times. You know what I'm saying?
Legs.
Like with his legs, like he was able, like he was either missing guys or guys weren't open, but he was able to extend drives and get them in position. But yet again, like you said, he also took sacks he shouldn't have, bad interceptions. It's like he's the double-edged sword, but no one else nothing else was working on offense anyway. So I think
Yeah.
that was also a problem.
Certainly not running the ball. You did have some big plays to some of the receivers, right? Casey Concepcion was still very dangerous. You know, Mario Craver had some good touches. But yeah, you would have liked to see more out of the rushing attack. You know, the backs, obviously Le'Veon Moss was back from injury, but left the game early, wasn't really fully healthy. But yeah, you know, you kind of have to give it a go at this stage of the season. But yeah, ultimately the game was on Marcel Reed's shoulders. I don't disagree with you that his legs were a big part of the reason A&M was still in this game and able to get field position. But the mistakes are killer. So you go back to the drawing board. You're into the recruiting season now, while Miami moves on. And boy, did they move on, Jake.
They did. So here's the thing. You already mentioned it, man. Bain and Mesidor, they're the X factor, man. They are the Miami pass rush is the X factor. And this is why some people, not me, but this is why some people said that this might be a nightmare scenario for Ohio State, because Julian Sayin has not really been pressured much. And when he has, again, first half against Penn State, Texas, Indiana, he hasn't looked great. And Miami was able to do that. Miami was able to rush for and kind of get home and pressure him. And that put him in a massive hole. 14-0, the pick six, again, another pick six before half. And then in the second half, Ohio State starts rallying back. But they get a touchdown. Miami kicks a field goal. They get another touchdown. But hey, now they're still down 7. Nope, 7-3, 3-7. 3. They're down 3. And Ohio State doesn't have the ball. And we see Fletcher. And Miami just looked like they had
duo, baby. Just running duo with Fletcher.
And it feels like Miami was just taking Ohio State's soul. And I think that is the difference of pressuring Sayin in the first half. And then, I don't know, a little bit of rust, a little bit of we're not conditioned, because Miami looked conditioned. They looked like the better team throughout most of this game, besides the third quarter.
Yeah. Just a man. What a performance by Miami. Didn't see this one coming, but you got to hand it to the Canes. What a performance. The next game we're going to talk about is Oregon beating Texas Tech 23-0. I want to start this off, Jake. You know, a lot of people have discredited Texas Tech and their approach to what they've done. I think this performance is actually, you know, a indicator of how good their performance was. Because you look at what they wanted to attack in the portal, getting players. They wanted to get better defensively. And yes, you give up 23 points, but that's because your defense was on the field the entire game. This defense,
their offense did nothing.
The offense didn't help them at all. The Red Raiders defense, though, still super fun to watch with Bailey and Rodriguez, those guys. Really, really strong defensive performance. Obviously, again, like no moral victories, but this is a really good proof of concept, I think. And Texas Tech, you know what they're going to do now? They're going to go right back to the portal, get some offensive guys, try to improve that side of the ball. As for Oregon, I mean, this is, you know, you win the James Madison game, scoring 52 points. This is 23 points, and your defense pitches a shutout. So now you've shown that you can win games offensively. You can win games defensively. Feels like Oregon is peaking at the right time.
Yeah, and also this game could have been a lot worse. Oregon went for it 8 times. They did get 4, but they went for it 8 times. Didn't get it a lot on fourth down, and didn't get it a lot in the beginning. I was really impressed with Texas Tech's defense. I know 23, you know, Texas Tech's defense on the field the whole time. Again, another sluggish start to a team with a bye on offense. And that is a narrative, and that is something we keep seeing with a lot of these offenses. Pretty much with all the bye teams, except the next one that we're going to talk about, because Indiana lays an absolute beatdown of Alabama, which, Jay, I will say, their first drive did not look good. They looked disjointed. I'm like, oh boy, Here we go. The bye's going to bite someone else. And boy, was I wrong. I texted someone a couple days before and I said, I just don't see how Indiana is going to beat Alabama by double digits. And boy, was I wrong.
35
Boy,
points, Jake.
That was there was no redeeming qualities by Alabama in that game.
No.
None.
No.
None. Kurt Signetti, again, it's the best coaching hire maybe ever. Like, I don't think people understand how good of a hire this is and how quick this turnaround, everything, and doing it with no 5 stars, doing it with 7 blue chip. Like, it's wild the way that they just beat down Alabama.
Hell of a ball coach. Hell of a ball coach.
And doing it in the Rose Bowl too.
Yeah.
Which it's yeah. Hell of a ball. I have nothing. Jay, we were almost done. Jay, we almost got through without interruption.
Yeah, the internet is not being friendly right now. We'll see if it picks up, but yeah, Indiana dominates. Not much more to say about that one. We'll go to the Ole Miss Georgia game, which was probably the game of the playoffs so far. Ole Miss beats Georgia 39-34. Didn't see this one coming, Jake. I'll be honest. I thought Ole Miss was in trouble without Lane, but they go out and they get revenge. Kewan Lacey, great performance. Georgia has chances, but Ole Miss able to pull it off. What a win for that program. I know that means a bunch to them.
No, Ole Miss is a team that I've always really disliked. I always thought that they were kind of shady people down there, backdoor money, all this, the recruiting violations. And I don't think I'm too off base. They to the darlings because Lane Kiffin left them. You have this team fighting for a championship after their coach just left them. I mean, it's such a great story.
Yeah, fantastic story. But yeah, that's our final 4. I guess from here we go into the preview, right? Miami and Ole Miss in the Fiesta Bowl, Oregon and Indiana. So we'll start off with the Canes. They are favored by 3 over Ole Miss. Look, I think Miami is in a good position because you get Marcel Reed and Trinidad Chambliss, same season, right? Same post. You can prep for a mobile guy, and from what I saw from Miami against Texas A&M, I think Miami is going to have some success against Ole Miss, rushing the passer and keeping Trinidad Chambliss in check. I'm taking Miami in this one. Uh-oh. Well,
I'm taking Miami. Nope. Jay, I think we got it. I'm taking Miami in this game because of their pass rush. Sorry, Ole Miss here. And lastly, Oregon versus Indiana is a 4-point favorite, over under set at 47.5. Doing it again. I am taking the Oregon to win this football game.
I think I've lost you, Jake.
Indiana, I think this is.
Well, I don't know.
We may have lost
how the viewers are seeing this come across right now, but we're here at the end of the episode. I'm going to take Indiana.
I'm going to call it. Sorry that we
right.
cannot get.
But I do think it's probably time to. we tried to make it an episode. We tried. For all of you that joined us, thank you. Have a good one. Well, we'll see what happens here. Jake, if you can hear me, I'm going to go ahead and download. That way, at worst, I can send this to you. Once I can figure out how to download it, that is.